Long time no see. Since the last time I've been with you, we had a major earthquake, which, if you can look behind me, I lost a lot of my valuables. And I haven't been doing that many fish videos. And I know you're thinking, well, didn't you just start doing them? I did. I started doing them around Thanksgiving, and I had this earthquake the first part of December. I did do a video eating some sardines during the earthquake because I always say I wouldn't really eat tin fish just out of the tin, but you know what? During an earthquake, a spicy tin of fish with some Modelo is really, really good. So also around Christmas, at a work party, I got a bunch of sardines. I've been finding a lot of kinds at my discount stores where I live, and certainly if you're prepping, you might want to consider some of these. This is Riga Gold. It's not the high-end Riga Gold. Don't get too excited. I mean, it is, but it's I think a lower end of it. It's fried bristling sardines in tomato sauce. There's that. Then we also have this one that's bipolar. Don't come at me. This one's polar. It's a nice little one. I also have two by Crown Prince. We have the Brisling wood smoked in olive oil, and then the Mediterranean style. We're not eating these all today. I'm just showing you what I've been getting. I also don't have a Trader Joe's where I live, but somebody was nice enough to bring me back these sardines in olive oil with smoke flavor. I also think I have some trout around. Been finding these most of these are at discount stores. I did get given some of these. This Safe Catch I think was $1.99. So today what I would like to do is I think I'm gonna go with the Wild Petite sardines by Bar Harbor. My Safeway had these 50% off. And I'm gonna go ahead and look at them. I mean, we can already sort of see them. I did see on YouTube somebody else had a video reviewing like this in Crown Prince. I hope I'm not making a mistake with this one. I'm going to go ahead and do a spread and do a ramen bowl with this. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've gone ahead and opened these up. These are big, pretty pieces. Of course, these are bristling, so they're smaller, double layered. Let's go ahead and give these a taste. It has a really good flavor. It has a little salt. Definitely taste of the sea. We have a little bit of salt in that. The olive oil is really good. It's kind of rich, fattier. It's definitely not a low end. I mean, it's a higher quality than some of the other ones we've had. It's Bar Harbor Sustainably Harvest from clear, cold waters of the Baltic Sea. Brings the sea to you. It's from Latvia. This is a pretty good fish. I have to admit, I have some herring that I would also like to try, but this was 50% off. So, something to consider. So, I'm going to go ahead and make a noodle bowl today. What I have is some bean threads. You could probably use, ramen, soba, rice noodles, whatever you like. I have a carrot. I'm going to go ahead and grate it. I have some green onions and some bok choy. And I've gone ahead and picked out some of the nicer whole pieces. And I'm going to broil them to get like a little bit of a char. So, we're going to see how this goes. I'm also doing broth that has some shiitake mushrooms in it. It's made with dashi and some seaweed. If you can't find it locally, usually if you have a noodle store or a noodle house where you live, they have pre-made broths that are pretty good. You can also order things off the internet. This is some of my fish. I like to think they're sardines, but maybe they're anchovies. I got when I was in Italy. And my sister happened to know the artist, and I'm so thankful that it didn't break during our earthquake. I I just thought I would show it to you because it was in the background. So now with the remainder of the tin, I'm going to go ahead and I have 2/3 of a packet of cream cheese in a mini food processor. I like Organic Valley, but it was also what was the cheapest on sale. And then you're going to want some hot sauce. This is kind of like, instead of a spicy salmon dip, I'm using the sardines, and I'm just going to make a spicy sardine dip. Now, again, even when we made this first video, there is a sambal and sriracha shortage in the world. First it was they were having trouble growing, then I think there's something with this distribution. So this I got at a discount store. It's sriracha paniche. It says it's a chili sauce, so I'm not sure if it's a hot sauce. I'm going to taste it and see if I like it. If I don't like it, if you could get regular sriracha, that would be great. Whatever flavor profile you like in a spicy cream cheese dip, and you probably know what you like. This is also peri peri hot sauce. It's a taste of Portugal. It's a really good hot sauce we get locally. We have a big Portuguese population. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put the sardines in with the cream cheese. I'm going to pick one of those hot sauces and then we'll keep on. In the meantime, I've pulled out my fish. They have a little bit of char, some nice crisp. And I use parchment paper. I don't use tin foil. If you use tin foil, I'm sure it wouldn't look this blackened. But do keep an eye on it and make sure you turn your oven off. So I went ahead and I went with the sriracha. There's about 10 fish in there, some of the oil, and the cream cheese. I'm going to blend and then taste. If you add green onions, I would save green onions to the end to eat as a garnish. I definitely wouldn't store it with the green onions. So in addition to our sardines, our bok choy, our mushrooms, our broth, our noodles, I have marinated some quail eggs. These are soft boiled quail eggs. They should be jammy. I don't know. I didn't check this one. I checked one earlier. It's about 2.5 minutes. Bring your quail egg to boiling water, or to room temperature. Then have a pan of boiling water, and I mean like a rolling boil. And then drop it in and make sure you have a slotted spoon or something there. 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. I'm telling you, 2.5 minutes. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to drop it in, and you're going to want to have some ice water. Now, if you don't have ice water, put earlier in the day or something, some water in the fridge or like a plastic container, freeze it. So you want to chill this super quick. Also, when you're peeling the egg, you want to take a spoon and sort of tap it. Quail eggs are notorious for being hard to peel, and sort of peel away with your thumb and your forefinger. Don't use your nails. And I just marinated this like overnight with some ponzu, and it already had soy in it, but it's a little acidic. I don't have any orange essence to add to the bonito, so we're going to go ahead and see how this turns out. So this pot is about 14 inches tall. It's actually an asparagus steamer, and I'm sure that you could cook noodles in it. I have my noodle basket in it. You don't really want, you want your handle towards you like this, but I'm doing it like this just to show you. So make sure you have your water at a full rolling boil. So I've gone ahead and dropped my noodles in. This is somewhat hard to do while holding a camera. And you're gonna wanna stir, 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 stir. So these noodles are a little different than the ones I usually get. They say to soak for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm cooking them for about 3 to 5. So see, they are clear, among are, but when you touch them, they're still like not quite firm enough. So when we're done, because this is being challenging with the camera, you're going to go ahead, shake out all the liquid by shaking that basket. Make sure you have your broth ready. Hang on for more. So this is our bowl. You can see that the carrots are shredded. It would have been better if I put them through a food processor. We have our mushrooms. We have our fish. Look at that egg. It's a great dish. Now, if you prefer ramen or bonito or soba, that would taste good too. Guys, I'm still learning about this video thing, and I tried editing the videos, and if any of you have any like software advice, I would definitely listen because I'm having issues with this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to eat a bite of this. Maybe no judgment because I don't usually eat noodle bowls in front of people, but let's see. Try not to. We'll see how this goes. Let's see how the noodles look delicious. I know they're going to taste great. It's a little hot. I made the broth the temperature of it too hot. Oh, goodness. Sardine. It's very crispy. And the olive oil just is a little explosion in your mouth. You don't get any of the bones. Let's try that after a mushroom. That's deliciously salty. I have to admit, I really think I would have preferred maybe ramen with this, or even a soba. I like mung bean. It's a different type of fish dish, but this is, if you love fish, this is a great type of bowl. Now, my jammy egg. Look at that. It has a sardine. I know half of it is, but that's perfect. I was really worried about doing it in the ponzu. I thought the citrusness of the ponzu wouldn't work well with the fish, but I think because I don't have fish orange essence, which you usually add to bonito, it really just, it brings out a whole another level to this bowl. The green onion adds a good sweetness. Carrot's kind of, it's a vegetable, but I don't eat bean sprouts. If you ate bean sprouts, this would be a great addition too. These fish though, these fish are delicious. I think I'm gonna go back to my Safeway and try to buy up the rest of these sardines. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this bowl, and we're gonna try our sardine dip. So after finishing my bowl, the only thing I would change is more fish, more eggs. I no longer regret using the mung bean. As you mix the bowl in, it tastes delicious. The texture of it with the fish broth, it really, every bite is different. Like using the noodle and then eating some mushroom and eating a fish and then eating more noodle and eating just this jammy egg that has this just explosion of fat and citrus in it. It's delicious, let me tell you. Also though, I bought those baby bok choy, and I normally try to grow my bok choy, and I grow them in the flat so they're not too big, because they're not terrible, but if you're eating them in a soup, you want like a bite or two, and this was really 3 bites, and I think if I had maybe steamed, which I steamed all the vegetables, but had I steamed the stock more of the bok choy, it would have just been delicious. Also, they could have been broiled or braised in the oven in a soy sauce. The reason I didn't, the fish could have been done this way too. And the one reason I chose not to do that was I felt like the bonito already was so fishy and salty, and the eggs were so fishy and salty, and I kind of have a kidney thing, so I try to watch out how much fishy salty I have in a day. But those are some good suggestions if you want to try a noodle bowl. Let's go ahead and try the dip. Hi, I'm back with my spread and my crackers. I'm a little disappointed. I thought I had a nice buttery cracker. All I have is these water crackers, which, it's a cracker. But this dip is so rich with the cream cheese that you really want a buttery type cracker, unless you don't eat butter crackers, but then you're probably not eating a spicy cream cheese fish dip. So this is how it looked. I went ahead and spread it in a container and put it in the fridge. Go ahead and grab a garnish. Be right back. So, you know, I've been trying to find a recipe for like a pate, which, you know, like pate is usually organ meat. Fish pate is kind of weird. The internet's like, oh, blend with butter. I think that's a paste. That's a fish paste. So I'm going to try this cream cheese thing. I ended up adding about 5 tablespoons because even though that hot sauce was really vinegary and it had a sweet and a sour, probably because it was the cream cheese, you couldn't taste the spice till you added 5 tablespoons. Something else before I even taste this, I know it's going to taste delicious. A few things I would do different if I did a spread like this again is I would either broil the fish in the oven the way I did for the noodle bowl. I'm not exactly sure how that would work out, but the flavor just felt so much more intense and the texture was much more different. Also, if you didn't want a smooth paste, if you like the chunks of fish, I would blend the cream cheese, some of the oil, the hot sauce, get it to, you know, where you think you want it. Then I would add the fish, however you do the fish, and I'd pulse it. In trying to mix the hot sauce into the cream cheese, this is a little more homogenized than I would like it. So definitely a different cracker, but the hot sauce worked good for being discount hot sauce. That was a good choice. The green onion also, it brought a nice freshness. You know, out of the tin, the fish tasted great. The fish tasted great broiled. Fish did not taste that great in this. And it's not that it's bad. It's just the first time the fish had a really fishiness of it. And I think putting it in the oven really takes that, you know, you lose the flavor, but you lose that little, you know, flavor of canned fish. So before we go, one other thing I'd like to talk to you about is books. I know there's a bunch of, there's a new tin fish book out. There's also someone on Instagram that's doing a lot of sort of short, you know, reels. I have enough trouble doing this as a YouTube. Doing a video every day would be way too much. But check them out. And if you live in a rural area, I live in a rural area, most libraries will let you request a book up to $40 if it's available on Amazon, and they'll incorporate it into their library. You might want to see if your library does that. Now, my library won't do a new book, so the new book that's out I can't order, but I ordered this book. It goes back into your library circulation. You don't keep it. It's called there we go, Tin Fish. Now, this isn't just sardines. It does have some great sardine. It has like a beer battered sardine recipe in it. But what I like, and what I'm encouraging you to do this if you're really trying to figure out what kind of tin fish you like or whatever besides tasting it, has like a pasta with anchovies and onions. I don't want to show too many recipes because I don't believe in doing that. But like, you know, shows a nice spread of available types of sardines, because oftentimes when you live in a rural area, you don't know that, you know, like Tomato Rainbow Garden or gourmet fish places exist, or there might be gourmet fish that's not $8 or $10 a can but is available at someone's grocery store, but because you live in the wrong region you don't know about it. So you know, this has like a marinated sardines on aioli and toast, and it's good to go out and try to check and find different resources so that you can learn what kind of fish you like. Again, remember, I mean, I made a gourmet noodle bowl, but if, you know, I was in an emergency situation, that would taste great with some instant ramen and just some fish and some hot sauce. Like, that's the gourmet end of it. The other end of it is there's a pretty frugal, simple dish that you can make. So keep on. Remember, things out of the cupboard. Your tin pantry is your friend. Keep eating fish. And until we eat again, I'll see ya.